Heyo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another action figure review. In this episode, we are taking a look at Batgirl and Oracle, the 2-pack from Batman Arkham Knight from DC Collectibles. This came out a couple of years ago, and I don't really know how long ago that was, but I was looking for a Batgirl figure and couldn't really find one I really liked too much, so I saw this one and figured, why not try it out and see what it looks like. It's based on the actual Batman Arkham Knight video game franchise, I guess would be the best way of saying that. There's a bunch of those games out, but very cool looking, and again, it's a 2-pack, so we get Batgirl and Oracle. Very nice, a couple of accessories here. Comes in a nice kind of window boxed platformy thing here. The top has kind of the standard Batman Arkham Knight logo on it. The bottom has some standard copyright information, but no copyright date for whatever reason. The back side has a couple of the other figures in the Arkham Knight series, and that's about it. A little bit of a kind of weird mesh thing for Batgirl and Oracle. And on the side, we have kind of that same image. So yeah, it's an interesting looking set, and I am anxious to see what it looks like in person. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed and see what's going on with it. I'm going to go through the top on this one. Got 2 pieces of tape here, so we'll go ahead and slice, actually 4 pieces, one on each side here, and then one here and here. So maybe I picked the wrong part to open, but we'll get it anyways. Alright, that's sliced open. We'll pull this thing out more or less. Fold that out. And then slide the figures out. There we go. Toss that packaging down to the side here. Nice big bubble here, so we'll lift this out, and then on the back of this we have just kind of a, I guess that's the Batmobile. I'm not really sure what that is. Anyways, we're throwing that to the side as well because I don't think I need it. And let's see what we got here. So we have some tape holding some accessories in place, and a protective little bubble shield here holding Oracle in. And it looks like a twisty tie holding in Batgirl. So let's start cutting some tape. Get that out first. Cut this tape off. Cut some of this tape off. That's not taped in. And yeah. Pop this cool backpack off. We will zoom in after we get them all these off the package. Got a set of headphones here for Oracle. We have the actual Oracle figure itself, which has this weird plastic wrap over top of it. We'll take that off. Pretty cool. Put that over there. Then we have the actual wheelchair, which the wheels actually have plastic on them as well. Pull that off. That's kind of weird. But okay, so there's the wheelchair. Get these alternate hands out first. 1, 2, 3, 4 alternate hands. We have a batarang over here. And then we need to get the rest of this. So the cape has a piece of plastic over it that's also taped. So we'll just pull the tape off that and then free the plastic wrappy thing. Then quickly untwisty this twist tie. I usually just cut these things, but that one looked about as easy to untwist as to cut it. So, alright, flip that over, yank that out. And then let's pop. Actually, there is also one of those clear rubber bands at her feet, so we'll cut that. And I think that's it. The cape itself is kind of fit through this cut in the plastic, so we'll have to pop that out. I guess we'll start with the feet and pull on this and see. Then kind of press in on the cape to get it to fit in that little opening. There we go. And then this can be thrown to the side as well. That's a lot of packaging for this set. Alright, so we have Batgirl's Accessories. We've got Oracle and Oracle's Accessories. So let's zoom in just a little bit here and take a closer look at all these things here and see what we got. Alright, I guess we'll start with Oracle and her accessories. So first up we have this cool backpack with some very cool looking detail. It's got lots of nice paint apps on it. It's kind of a hard plastic. The straps are a little bit, they're not really soft, but they're kind of soft. We also have a water bottle here, which is actually removable, if I can get it out. So that pops off and you've got a cool little yellow water bottle that fits into the back there. That's actually pretty cool. I like that little touch there. You can see inside there's some books and journals and things like that, and I guess a laptop in there somewhere. You can fit this over top of her shoulders here. Works pretty well. If I can get it over the other shoulder, I guess. Not easily. You can at least throw it over one shoulder. Or you can also kind of, I guess it's meant to fit here on the back of the wheelchair a little bit better. It just kind of hooks in and lays over like that. That's very cool. Very nice little detail there. We also have a set of headphones here. Little small headphones. Nice kind of pink. It's actually two-tone. So it's like red on one part of it, and then the inner side is the pink side, and then the little black pieces. That's pretty cool. So that kind of fits around her ears, it looks like, and will just kind of slide on there, though it's a little big for that. So it will fit around her neck, though, I think. Again, not all that well, but so these aren't all that good. But I guess you can always hang those off of the back of the chair as well. Works pretty well. The chair itself has some interesting detail here. Got a little bit of paint app going on here. The wheels do spin. They don't spin them very well, but they spin. Got some nice details in the hardware here. These front wheels, they turn. That's cool. These little foot pegs don't go up or down. They don't really move. Do they? No, I think they're all glued in place there, so they don't move. But the front wheels move, the back wheels move. You got that spindly axle thing that kind of moves around like that. Just a little odd, but it's okay. Pretty nice. I like the color scheme. It works really well. As far as the figure itself, she sits inside the wheelchair very easily. It doesn't look like she's going to fall out of it. It kind of doesn't roll the best in the world. Those front wheels don't move very much, but the back wheels roll pretty well. Then the actual figure itself in the wheelchair looks pretty good. It's definitely a figure I didn't think we would actually see. But yeah, very interesting. So, taking her off her wheelchair there for a moment, we'll take a look at the articulation here and the details. So, really great job all the way around. Her glasses are not removable. They're kind of glued in place, but they have nice clear lenses there, which I was surprised they actually have lenses. But facial sculpt looks halfway decent. Again, it's based off the video game character, not another representation of her. So hair sculpt looks pretty decent. The paint apps themselves are a little bare, but not too bad. Lots of little details in her outfit here. So some little buttons there. She's got a nice necklace there. You can see the little string for her hoodie there, which is cool. I like the fact that they put it purple and gray with some yellow. Some cool little bracelets and things like that. Cool gloves. Then more sculpted details on her shorts. Not a lot of sculpting on her legs. Her shoes have quite a bit of detail on them. Oh, this is probably blown out since it's that weird yellow color, but I'll style this down a little bit. So her shoes are more orange than yellow. But again, some nice details in like her laces and everything like that, and they look a little scuffed up and a little grungy, a little bit of dirt. Very cool looking though. Very nice looking figure. Pull this back up light-wise. So articulation-wise, the head moves 360 degrees. There we go. Has plenty of up and down motion, side-to-side head tilt, so very nice there. It was a little sticky to begin with, but not too bad. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joints. So good range of motion there. Standard ball and swivel at the elbow joint. Very nice. Then we have a standard swivel and rocker at the wrist. Very, very cool. At the waist, we have a kind of that weird ball joint. So you've got a little bit of ab motion. Move our arm around here so we can see how much flex we have there. A little bit of ab, but it you can go side to side and you can swivel it left to right. So, but that's about all you're going to get out of that, and that makes sense. The rest of her lower body is not got any. Actually, I take that back. So, her legs do not have any articulation, but her feet do. So we've got a single swivel joint here at the top of her socks. So you can move her feet left and right. That's about it though. But again, it makes sense for the character. So I don't really have any issues with that whatsoever. I'm going to try to move this around to get those to line up. There we go. That was bugging me. I like it when those stripes line up. Excuse me. So yeah, all in all, a really cool looking Oracle figure. Again, I'm really surprised that we ever got an Oracle figure like this. Fits in really well with the chair. Again, you can grab the backpack and fit it over top of the handlebars here. The Headphones just kind of hang on the side there. And you've got a very interesting figure, a very unique figure in this. So there is Oracle. Next up, let's move on to Batgirl. Accessory-wise, we have basically a single batarang here. Some interesting detail. Not a lot of... got a little bit of paint app there, so you've got the dull black and then the kind of dull silver there. Front and back. It looks like it would collapse, but it does not, so it's just a single sculpt there. I guess it would fit in her hand, her grippy hand, like that pretty easily, so that is cool. Very nice. Her other accessories are these different alternate hands. So we have a set of open hands, so a left and right open hand. And then the left and right grippy hands. Nice details on those. The way these work, it's just a single peg system here, like we've seen on many action figures in the past. You grab her wrist, kind of twist and pull at the same time. I'm hoping. It's a little sticky. But yeah, pops out like that. Grab your alternate hand that you want to use, line that peg in the peg hole up, and then just press in on it until it locks into place. And there you go, you've got your alternate hands. Very cool. I'm often worried about these things. These actually seem pretty solid. A lot of these figures we've seen in the past have had kind of weak joints, so I've been worried about the peg removal. So I usually just leave them in whatever one I decide I want to use. But with this one, it's not bad at all, so I think it's going to be a pretty solid figure, so I'm not as concerned about that as a break point than other figures. The figure itself has some really cool detail in it, which is, I guess, really the reason I picked it up here. So looking at the face, very nice cowl, nice hair sculpt there. We do have some highlighting on the hair itself, so it's got some two-tones, paint apps. Very cool looking. Very nice different sculpt here on the chest and armor. You can see back there the way this suit is made. If you flip up the cape, get this turned the right way, you can see more of that armor pattern on her back in the way that the arms have that different pattern there. Again, they put a lot of detail in this. Very nice looking sculpt. All the way down her legs there. Again, that alternate pattern there. The texture different from the inside of the thigh. And then the way the boots are. Very cool. The cape itself also has some nice texturing to it here and there and a bounce. Nice plastic cape. It's kind of that soft plastic, but it works really well. I kind of go back and forth between cloth capes and plastic capes. These plastic ones definitely look better, but sometimes those cloth capes are very nice. But I like this one anyways. It works really well. Got the nice kind of metallic gold painted on there, and then the black. Very cool. I'm really liking this thing so far. Articulation wise, the head does spin 360 degrees. The hair is definitely going to cause a problem. You kind of have to wiggle it to get it to go, but once you do, it will spin the rest of the way. There we go. So side to side, up and down. Very good there. The hair doesn't really get in the way of that at all, but does kind of get into the... Can't really go left with it or right. I don't know which way you want to go, but looks pretty cool though. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joints here. That's up all the way, but then you can just rotate it, so no problems there whatsoever. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joints. Sorry, elbow joints. I meant to say elbow joint. Then we have swivel. It's tight. Swivel and rocker at the wrist. Again, very tight, so that wrist articulation might cause a problem. That may just be because of the way it's just sticky from being in the package for a very long time. So once you get that loosened up, I don't think you'll have an issue, but I'm a little concerned now because that's going to be a stress point. So be aware of that. You may have issues, you may not. The chest, lower chest articulation is that same kind of ball joint. Not a lot of motion left and right in that, but plenty of forward and back motion. So the ab crunch feature is engaged and working pretty well. No waist twist. We do have kind of the standard plastic T-hooky joints there at the hips, so it's a little bit of a range limitation. So it can only go out about that far. Can go forward about that far. Let me move this arm here. Back about that far. So a little limit in there. I'm kind of surprised about that actually. This one may loosen up a little bit more. But we also have a swivel at the top of the thigh. Very cool. We do have a double knee joint there, which is very nice. Then we have the swivel, the rocker at the ankle joint and the weird swivel at the bottom of the ankle joint. So up and down, and then whatever way you want to put it there. So all in all, really good articulation on this thing. So yeah, what are my thoughts about this? So Batgirl, I'm actually really impressed with this. The face, I think, might need a little bit of help. It's not my favorite head sculpt in the world. It's not too bad. In person, the eyes actually really kind of pop. They're nice green, bright green. I don't think that's coming through quite as well on the camera, but I don't know. You let me know. Color scheme looks good. A lot of good articulation on this figure. The hair sculpt, again, I'll throw that in with a head sculpt there. It's not my favorite in the world, but it's not too bad at all. Great articulation for the most part on this. Really nice detail on the actual costume itself, so I'm really digging that. Articulation at the hips, a little bit disappointed in that, but the rest of it is really good. I'm really liking it, so I don't know if this is going to be my favorite Batgirl figure ever, but so far it's a pretty good candidate for what I am looking for in Batgirl, and it's definitely a great representation of her from the Arkham Knight game, so yes. Taking all that in and then pairing it as a 2-pack. Price-wise, this thing runs around $50 on the secondary market. I don't think you can get it at retail anywhere anymore. So it's a little pricey for that, and I think they sometimes go a little higher than $50. But I would probably put a cap at the $50 range for myself. I don't know if it's worth going more than that, but you do get two very interesting figures out of the set. The Batgirl is a really awesome Batgirl representation, and you get the unique Oracle figure, which not very many options as far as trying to get an Oracle figure. So if that's your thing, I think you'll be very happy with this. Again, your mileage is going to vary a little bit, but when I picked mine up, I got it for around the $50 mark, and I was okay with that. Would I do it again? Yeah, probably. I would probably pay $50 for this. Easy. Much more than that, I'm not really sure about. You may want to pick up the Batgirl figure by itself, maybe. If you can get it for less than $50, definitely. And I'll have to do some comparisons at some point with some of the DC Multiverse releases of Batgirl to see how well the costume stands out. But I do like this particular version of her, which is the one I was really looking for. I like the different textures in the costume and things like that. And that's really what drove me to pick this thing up. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking right now. Well, that's all the time we have for today, so thanks for watching. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this Batman, Arkham Knight, Batgirl, and Oracle figure 2-pack. If you haven't seen this one before, how do you think it compares to other Batgirl figures? Do you like the Oracle figure that comes with this thing? Whatever you're thinking, put that in the comment section below and let us all know. If you'd like to see anything in future episodes, let me know that as well. I'll see what I can do to get it out in front of y'all. Hit the thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. And until next time.